champions, champions of Europe finally, history made in Istanbul, the treble complete, the greatest story in club history has an ending, and what a final chapter!
Hello and welcome back to another typical City watch-along. Manchester City hosting the blue half of Scousland. And it's going to be a feisty game. I really think it's going to be an interesting game. I am nervous, you know. The team news is what has sparked some pre-match nerves. I was feeling a lot more confident prior to the team news. I just want to know what Pep's doing. What is he doing with this team? Because Núñez and Doku start. I don't really have a problem with the individuals. I'm just really curious as to where they're going to play. And factoring in Phil Foden starts and Kevin De Bruyne doesn't, I don't know where, unless Núñez is going to play on the right wing. I can't see anywhere on that pitch where Phil Foden's playing centrally. I can't think of a formation where we play Phil Foden in his best position, where he's been at his best this season. And I'm also not just nervous for that because I just got a text like 30 seconds ago from the missus saying, because I'm missing my lad's game for this, and they lost 12-3. They haven't lost all season, and they were playing top of the league. It was the top two playing off against each other, and they were 3-1 up at half time, and they lost 12-3. Oh no! So that's from my personal perspective. That's an omen, a worrying sign for today and how luck might play out today. So hopefully Manchester City can put some smiles on the faces of people in this household, me and my son at least, because the missus, of course, is a United fan who will definitely want to see us lose. So it's going to be a really feisty game. But that team news, what's he doing? Big. I'm not questioning it like, oh, he's getting it wrong. I just want to know, where is everyone going to play? Now, at the back, I think we're starting to see a little bit more of what we saw last season with regards to the Champions League treble-winning side, that back 4-3, whatever you want to call it, in defence with John Stones, I imagine is now pushing into defensive midfield alongside Rodri. So physicality-wise, we've got some units on that team today. Absolute monsters in this football side. Rodri, Stones, Erling Haaland, Akanji's so physical, Diaz, I've already said Erling Haaland, but Núñez as well. But we've got some big players on that team, and we're going to need it against Everton. I imagine it's going to be Akanji, Diaz and Ake as a back three with Stones and Rodri in front of them. Edison is in goal, of course. I've gone with Alvarez and Núñez to be the front two creative players in front of Rodri and Stones. That doesn't ooze creativity to me. I'm not feeling like that's not a lock-picking midfield, if that makes sense. I feel like that's more, a little bit more aggressive in terms of rock and roll type of football. I think we're going to try and smash the door down rather than be a little bit intricate with our football. And it might bode well for us. It might, well, and you can emphasise that by the fact that Doku's on the pitch as well. He's not a lock picker. He'll kick the door in. That's his style. He's explosive, rock and roll. Now, the only thing I could think of is that Núñez could be playing on the right. That would be really interesting to see if Pep sees him and wants to try him out on that right wing. Now, we're at the stage of the season where, do you want to be trying out things? I'm not convinced we should be doing it against Everton, and then no mugs, do you know what I mean? That's a worrying time to be experimenting with your formation. So late into the season, Pep doesn't really do that. He tends to pick that. Last season, when we saw the three at the back and John Stones pushing into midfield, that was early days. We saw that 5 or 6 games into the season where we were trying to work out what he was doing. At the start of the season, last season, Cancelo was pushing in a little bit. Eventually, it was John Stones. But there was always that same pattern and formation. Now you're putting Núñez on the right wing. If that's the case, we might not be the case at all. Phil Foden's not being wasted, but I don't think we're going to see the same potency from Phil Foden that we've seen in recent weeks from the middle of the park. He got a bloody hat-trick last week, playing in the centre of the pitch. So to change that's quite a bold move from Pep Guardiola. Last week we saw, on paper, it seemed like Foden might start on the right. And if that what didn't prove to be the case whatsoever, because Kyle Walker started pushing down the wings, and even Guardiola started pushing down the wings against Brentford. And we had a very, very creative midfield with Foden, and Alvarez and De Bruyne are all in the middle of the park, and it just worked for me. It just worked. I thought we didn't play supersonic football. It wasn't the best football I've ever seen, but I just felt comfortable. I just felt assured. Now, I don't feel like that with this team, to be honest. I must admit, there's some aggressive changes. Cheers, Timmy. Appreciate that. Good to see so many of you in the chat already as well. I'll get onto the Everton team news. Uno momento. But yeah, good to see so many of you in the chat. I need to check if that clock's working in a minute as well, because I was pissing about with it before. It wasn't working. So, in fact, yeah, I'll check it in a minute. But I think I saw Sammy up in the chat earlier as well. Douglas was in here nice and early. James, good to see you. Mahmood, KDB isn't starting. You're absolutely right, mate. Ian, goals, goalies for Ian. I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. And hopefully they're in the light blue for Manchester City, which would be nice. Good to see you, Ryan. Desme as well. Ade. Dale as well. Nick Knack. Jeff. Good to see you, Jeff. Timmy. Issa. Not in my lifetime. Yeah, mate, not in my lifetime. That was so good that he said that, wasn't it? How good was that? What a great YouTube name you've got there, by the way. Last 20 minutes, the bomb squad can come on if needed. Yeah, 100%. That's a good point, mate. The fact is that bench is pretty devastating, isn't it? You've got De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish there. Jacob Wright as well, need to mention that. Not getting into the Manchester City squad once again. Purely because of the absence of Mateo Kovacic, who's someone I don't want to not have available. He's the sort of guy that's perfect for this stage of the season. If you take a lead, you go 2-3-0 up. Perfect player to bring onto the pitch. Bring him on, steady the ship, control the game, see it out, win the game. I think Kovacic is perfect for that. I don't have a problem with him starting too many games either, in truth, because I feel like he's not Gundogan, is he? He's not there. I've not seen anything like Gundogan, because Gundogan provided a ridiculous amount of goals and assists. Kovacic doesn't seem like a numbers man, but he certainly has the same abilities of controlling a game like Gundogan does. He's not quite that fox in the box like Gundogan. I haven't seen any of that from him at all, in truth. But control-wise, I feel like they're not too dissimilar. And someone that brings me a lot of confidence when I watch Manchester City in midfield and when we need that control. He's gone completely against that Pep Guardiola today with the 11 that he's picked. I'm not surprised to not see Grealish as well, by the way. Cheers, sub 2. People are a big fan of it, you know. The last time I wore this was the Club World Cup final. So I see this as a final. A massive, monstrous game of football that absolutely needs winning. I've heard some City fans saying a draw wouldn't be that bad. I think it would be devastating, just for momentum. I think it would be absolutely devastating if we weren't to win this game. Yeah, that would be a killer blow, because we can still, even then it would still be in our hands if we were to draw this game. I understand that, because if we still have to play Liverpool, but absolutely not. No, this game should be won comfortably as well. MJG window cleaning as well. Good to see you. Captain Harris, Travis, Danny W, Ben, Lachel Bleu. Good to see you all in the chat. And the teams are in the tournament. I'm just going to give the little, a little test, because I'm worried it's not going to work. Bear with me. Let's pop a couple of scores on. Let's make it 1-0 City. Hey, there we go. Oh, 1-0 City already. No, I'm just lying. Just fan reaction there was probably like, oh, they've scored. Fucking record it straight away. Probably he's already got his fan reaction. It's going to be a false one for him there. But Jeff with the 2, mate. Appreciate that. Doku brace. Here we go. Jeff's prediction in the bank. Suck it, Toffees. Doku brace. Haaland brace. And Jeff has told what the Toffees to do, which is suck it. Like D-Generation X, who remembers that? Who remembers that? Who used to watch wrestling? Man, I used to buzz off wrestling. Friday Night Raw, Saturday SmackDown, and then someone spoiled it for me and told me it wasn't real. Heart was shattered into a million pieces. But anyway, Anthony, hopefully the scores will be the same as the FFP charges. I'd be happy winning 115-2. Though in terms of what will be carried out, I don't. We'd lose 0-2. Hopefully we don't lose, mate. We can't lose this game. We absolutely can't. Jokey Gill, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Massive game. Game players are walking out right now. Ashley Young as well is starting. That bird poo eating individual is starting, which is a little bit surprising. I've got terrible memories of him. I can't stand him. That's the words I'm looking for. That's the sentence I was trying to find. I do not like that man. I can't stand him. I'm sure he's a lovely guy off the pitch. I'm talking about on the pitch. That's the thing with people, is I don't judge. I judge there's two types of personalities in the world. There's your football personality and your everyday life personality. And I think they're two very different beasts. I think so many people have differing personalities. When you cross that white line, man, you should be an animal. I'm an animal when I play football. I'm nasty, I'm vicious, I'm mean. I'm a bitter individual when I play football, sore loser. But in everyday life, I like to think I'm all right. I'm not that nasty or anything like that. Ashley Young is a cheat, man. That dive, that kick on Aguero as well. In the I can't remember which Manchester derby it was. But a stonewall penalty on Aguero, little things like that. He's just a wind-up merchant. Not a fan of Ashley Young, not a fan at all. But he's going to be so dangerous with set pieces. His ability to cross in. So Everton team news as well. Jordan Pickford in goal. Ben Godfrey, as expected. The back four kind of picked itself really. Or is it even going to be a back four? Because Everton could actually have a back five here. And that's why I'm not sure Ashley Young's position. I've put him as right wing. But Ben Godfrey could be part of a back three and have Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Godfrey as the back three. Mykolenko as a left wing back and Ashley Young as a right wing back. And then you've got Idrissa Gueye, James Garner, Jack Harrison, Dwight McNeil on the left most likely, and obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. But Ashley Young's going to offer protection for Godfrey if he's not already playing right wing back, and he's also going to offer a very dangerous threat from set pieces. His crossing ability is ridiculous. It's so good, and we've got to be so careful. Yeah, it'll be 10 at the back. You're absolutely right, Nick. No, it will be 10 at the back. Let's be real. It's going to be Calvert-Lewin chilling up top. But he's not someone who chills Calvert-Lewin. He's an aggressive player that is going to try and get into the rib cage of Ruben Diaz, and he's aggressive in the air. And we've just got to be careful of that counter-attack. There's not that much speed from that Everton starting 11. I don't feel scared too much on the counter-attack. So they're going to have to go direct and Calvert-Lewin hold it up and wait for his team to catch up. And the good news about that is Kyle Walker's not needed and he's not on the pitch either. So we don't need to worry about counter-attacking speed from Everton too much. Jack Harrison, former City man, of course, he can carry the ball. Dwight McNeil, they're not slow, but it's not frightening speed in that team. Little signpost, James from Thailand, hope you're good, mate. And low fat, mo fat. Let's face it, Everton here to play low block, boring, catch you on the counter-attack football. Yeah, I think you're right. Oscar Bob with a goal contribution off the bench, Anthony, mate, I'd buzz off that. Absolutely buzz. Game is about to get underway. Sean Dyche is not on the touchline, by the way. Forgot to mention that in my preview, which I think is a big factor. I don't think we should underestimate the importance of the main manager not being on the touchline. I think it's huge, especially for someone like him. He's such a vocal presence on the touchline. Oh, I'm Sean Dyche, shouting abuse at everybody. So hopefully, they're swapping pitches as well. Swapping halves. Sorry. You don't normally see that, do you? Just a stupid psychological thing, that, isn't it? Trying to mess with our heads a little bit there. I imagine Everton won the coin toss and said, let's swap halves. I imagine, which means we get the ball, presumably. We'll see, because I can't see City swapping halves unless we walked out. We always start in the same way, don't we? I'm sure we do. City fans out in force, Haaland masks on display. I'm nervous about this one. I really am. I need to see a Haaland goal as well. I'm praying for a Haaland goal today. Yeah, City kicking off. Alvarez taking the ball. So it was Everton trying to do a little mind games. 12:30 kickoff as well. Doesn't always breathe that many goals into the match. There's always a bit of lacklustre football played at 12:30, but you never know. You never know. Got over 100 in the building. If we could pop a like on the stream. Game is underway. Please do pop a like on the stream and subscribe if you're new. Trying to build a community here. A Manchester City welcome community. All demographics welcome. All ages. All different walks of life. Nationalities. Races. Species. We could even have bloody lizards watching. Who knows? Who knows? But everyone is welcome here. I'm trying to build a really welcome community. So please drop a like on the stream. Haaland up early there with a header. And I think it's Dwight McNeil's been clattered already, but he seems all right. I'm feeling it. Diaz is captain, Lachel Blue. I think he is the number 2. We've got a few who could be a captain. I think John Stones could be a captain. I think Rodri is definitely captain material. I think Nathan Ake leads by example, not quite the vocal captain, but he's an example, isn't he? So it looks like Foden's right wing. Núñez has gone in the middle, and it looks Akanji's really high up, as well as John Stones and Rodri. So this is interesting. We've got 2 at the back, basically, with the ball. And we've got 3 defensive midfielders with the ball at the minute. Lovely ball all the way out to Phil Foden, who brings it down beautifully, and it's intercepted. He tries to feed a ball into the penalty area, and it was intercepted. Rodri's picked up the loose pieces as Everton tried to clear it. Manuel Akanji. So, yeah, it looks like Akanji is pushed up alongside Rodri, and John Stones on the other side of Rodri right now, which is absolutely mental. Mental. Big gaps at the back. There's going to be a huge gap, so you expect us to control the ball reasonably well. Doku, little flick, got a bit lucky because he smashed it off the face of Ben Godfrey there, but he's still got the ball, and his trickery, he's working his way into the box, and he's won a corner. Jordan Pickford immediately going mental, as he usually does. He's probably spotted a blade of grass blowing in the wrong direction or something. Big M, good to see you. 3-1 City. What's everybody's take on the Grealish situation, not playing on a regular basis? I made a video about that 2 days ago, didn't I? Did reasonably well as well. Alvarez corner. Pickford punches clear. It was a good corner though. He got it nice and into a dangerous area. First time whipped in by Núñez over everybody's head. So it's a really interesting midfield, this. Really interesting midfield from Pep Guardiola. And Akanji's got a big pocket of space here, but no one in front of him other than Haaland, who's surrounded by Everton shirts. Núñez into Foden. Looks like it's going to be, the pattern's been set. All City as to be expected. Lovely ball from Núñez into Haaland. He brings it down. Phil Foden's in the penalty area, and it's going to be a goal kick. He's brought it down on the corner of the 6-yard box. Haaland really well. Good little ball. Dink over the back line from Núñez. Haaland brings it down, lays it off to Foden, who tries to dribble. Little fast footwork. But it ends up ricocheting off at an Everton player, then back off the shin of Phil Foden and out for a goal kick. Pickford going long. And you just got to keep Calvert-Lewin off that ball. You know, as long as they're not going long to him, we should be all right, because there's no one else really in that team that should be bringing the ball down when it's lumped up. I mean, player for player, formation for formation, just team for team, really. We should be beating these quite comfortably. The reason why I'm nervous is the changes we've made, as much as that's a factor. But Everton have got the joint fourth best defence in the Premier League, which is mind-boggling. It's not really because of the point deduction, isn't it? But considering where they are, even so, they would be like 11th or 12th in the league with the fourth best defence, which is still pretty impressive going, but they can't find the back of the net well enough to climb any further in the table. So hopefully it should be a clean sheet today. We have to try and get that clean sheet. My prediction was 3-0, but I mean, I thought it could be like a 2-0 because they're going to be dogged. It's going to be a grim performance. John Stones keeping the ball well. He was pressured, but he kept it really well. Rodri feeds it like round the corner for Doku to chase, but he goes back to Diaz. So yeah, that's the platform for Manchester City is Nathan Ake and Ruben Diaz. That's it. Everyone else is in front of them. And Everton have got a really narrow block. Whether that's intentional or whether they've been drawn inside, at the minute it looks like a narrow block, but it could actually be because City have got 3 defensive midfielders who are just filling that middle of the park, which is going to bring in, if you're going to mark them at least, it's going to bring in the midfield, which should give space to Foden and Doku. I imagine that's what the theory is. In practice, We've only found Foden once, so we're looking for those long diagonals. Picking your right moments to find Foden or go the other way to Doku will be the key to winning this game. But yeah, it's really tight from Everton, and Jack Harrison is behind Calvert-Lewin. Foul, the referee's given it. Alvarez received one right in the back from Tarkowski. Hot hits, why KDB isn't starting. I imagine it's just a bit of rotation, you know. I was watching the pre-match before, and they interviewed a little, like, he was about 7 or 8 years old. And they said, what do you feel about Kevin De Bruyne not starting? And the 7-year-old was like, I imagine it's the minutes, to be honest. I imagine it's probably a bit of fitness, like just keeping those minutes. He is just back from injury, of course. And I was like, bloody hell, mate. You're on your way into the media, mate. You know how to talk about football. 7 years old, and he was answering the question for me, to be honest. I was spot on. Oh, shitty now. Long ball over the top. There's Mykolenko. Foden's got to play right back all of a sudden. And there's those pockets of space. Everton have found them. Dwight McNeil's cross into Calvert-Lewin over his head. Ashley Young's picked up the cross. It's come to the back post. Hard and low. Rodri gets it cleared. There you go. You're going to play like this, Pep. You've got to expect those moments. Those big gaps that we're leaving with 2 defenders. It just went long into that big gap. Big pocket of space alongside Ruben Diaz. Foden's got to leg it back and get into the right back position. And he does well. But there's too much space there. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Calvert-Lewin down by the City corner flag. Rodri's big, long, stretch Armstrong legs gets in the way. And Doku's just barraging his way through. And he's been slow on it there. Doku is giving it away. Oh, fucking hell, Doku. Ederson is scrambling around here. Have we got the ball or what? There's just goalmouth scramble going on there. I think it was Godfrey who went flying into Ederson. Ederson looks hurt, but Doku does really well to beat the man at first. And then he's got the time, he's got the ball, and he just takes his time on it. He thinks, oh, I'll chill with this one. He does well to win that ball at first, wins the tackle against Idrissa Gueye, but then he takes his time on it, and Idrissa Gueye gets back, pokes it into the path of, I think it's Dwight McNeil, and then chaos ensues after that. And Godfrey and Ederson have collided with one another in the middle of the box there, and it was just the ball. No, Ederson hadn't quite got hold of that ball yet. And we're looking at that long ball as well before a moment. So Everton they've got a threat here, you know. They really have. Hope you're right, Tuna, mate. Hope you're right. Easy win, says Tuna. Godfrey's looking a bit worse for wear. He looks all right, though, actually. Got to get the lead. That's my main concern. Ederson stayed down here as well, you know. Last thing we need is Ederson going off. I love Ortega. I think he's a great goalkeeper, but I just feel like his footwork isn't at the level of Ederson. And in games like this in particular, where it's hard to say we're not going to need a shot stopper. It's not like Ederson's bad at shot stopping either. But we're going to need more of a build-up type keeper. You know, your Edersons of this world, who is probably the best goalkeeper in the world at building up from the back. And he's down on the floor right now, so that is not good news. He looks serious as well, you know. He's surrounded by the City players. Akanji's getting instructions from Pep Guardiola immediately. Pep's seen something that's triggered him, and he's called Akanji over, and Akanji's listening like absolute avid listening and learning, just absorbing as much information off Pep Guardiola as possible. He has got the feel of a 12:30 kickoff. This a little bit sloppy from both teams, to be honest, so far. Not really picked up any rhythm of the game yet. Everton have had not even a chance really. That's Ederson had that ball all day long, but he's got absolutely clattered there, Ederson. It looks like one in the ribs. It's probably winded him at least. But really interesting start to the game. And I mean, how are we going to get Haaland into this game? The way they're setting up as well. Is it going to be another one of those sacrificial performances? Haaland's career bothers me. You know, for the future of his career, whichever club he goes to now, he's, you know, he hit the ground running. And as much as people weren't geniuses for saying, went last season, unless you're Rory Jennings, of course, who's the polar opposite of a genius, that Haaland will score goals next season. Nobody was expecting the sheer level of goals that he was going to get, and therefore they didn't pay him as much respect as they are doing now with regards to marking him out of the game, completely marking him out of the game. And that's going to be his career now, isn't it? Whichever football club he's at, it doesn't matter if he's at City or not. If Haaland's on the pitch, you've got to have two on him. And how's he going to play with that? Like, it's going to be tough for his career. He's going to have to adapt. He's going to have to learn new tricks of the trade, come and get the ball deep, dragging players out of position. I'm sure he's working on it in the training ground. And there's that tactic I was talking about. Everyone in midfield and Foden have a big pocket of space. But that's the issue. If we don't get players over to Foden quickly, then it's pointless giving it to him. Because Everton players got to Foden quicker. They got two men over to Phil Foden quicker than we did offer a pass. Offer a player to pass it to him. But Núñez is all pulling. You can see Haaland, Núñez, Alvarez all coming across the pitch towards the camera. Whereas Phil Foden stays exactly where he is. He doesn't come over. He stays on that byline. He's got acres of space. So there's your tactic. That's why he's got the three in midfield today. To find the wide men as free as possible. But and there's Haaland doing what I've just asked him to do. Come and collecting it. But he's just gone straight back to John Stones. Little triangle there between Ake and Akanji didn't come off. Akanji gave it away. Bit of a bad ball from Akanji as well as Alvarez not really on his toes. Long ball from Diaz for Haaland to chase, and he sticks out some ridiculous leg. It's just like the tip of his toe just touches the moon. Like, how does his body do that, man? Doku brings it down. Frantically dribbling. He just does this, doesn't he? He just wobbles when he runs, like he just like because no one knows what he doesn't have a clue what he's going to do next. So God help the opposition. So good watching him play, isn't he? But his effectiveness is nothing like it was at the start of the season. We need to see a big performance from Jeremy Doku today, because I think he's been a bit. I don't know. I can't remember who it was against. He came on. I can't remember who he came on for and against. Who was it now? It was about 3 weeks ago or so. And he was a bit sloppy as a substitute appearance as well. But one thing he did do is he kept the ball in the corner flag for about 5 minutes. Really well. Really good play. Akanji's ball looking for Phil Foden. That was a poor ball. Really poor from Akanji there. It was behind him. It was late. Phil Foden was probably offside. The run was clear. And there's Calvert-Lewin winning that ball. And mate, fucking hell. He made Ruben Diaz look tiny then. His leap is ridiculous, Calvert-Lewin. Rodri, get rid of it, mate. See that one long ball from Calvert-Lewin. He wins it, and it keeps Everton up the pitch. And it's a problem. We've got to be careful of that little direct, I say little, big direct ball up to Calvert-Lewin. And Akanji's giving it away in a horrible position. Calvert-Lewin, he's not seen the man. He's tried a stupid little chip, Calvert-Lewin, and we got away with murder. That's 3 terrible passes from Manuel Akanji in midfield. We saw the triangle before where he was one of the points of that triangle, trying to get it to Alvarez, gave that away, tries a stupid long ball to Phil Foden that was late, poor, and just then, we're talking a 5-yard simple pass. They're the types of mistakes this season that we've been getting punished for, been absolutely getting bullied for. Calvert-Lewin turns, he's got Nathan Ake to beat. He's got Jack Harrison running on the overlap. If he sees him, he's in. Thankfully, he doesn't have the peripheral vision to see him. Instead, he goes for a stupid little chip, which is wide and doesn't even get it over Edison's head. He just like, meh, little 5-yard dinker that was pointless. So we got away with that. Akanji needs to sharpen up a little bit here. Foden, very much on the right wing today. So I've got my formation right. Which, well, I have I'm not sure I have because I need to put Akanji in midfield, so I haven't really. But you're right, Kurt, he is struggling a bit. But He doesn't shy away from anything, Manuel Akanji. I don't feel like he's the sort of guy who makes a mistake and feels sorry for himself and starts to panic and repeats. Well, he has made 3, so hopefully he can sharpen up, but he'll keep going. He'll keep going. Swap on. He's on the bench, De Bruyne. I imagine he's going to play in the Champions League. There you go, Akanji. Nice crisp pass to Nathan Ake. He's showing for it, Akanji. It's not working, Pep, this at the minute. We're not getting out at all. And Akanji's a big part of that problem, in truth. Foul on Manuel Akanji there, but the idea of having multiple people in midfield there isn't working because we're not finding anyone. Like John Stones has peeled away there to the right-back position, and now we've got more of a 3 at the back and Akanji and Rodri in midfield. I think Pep Guardiola's plugged up a hole there that was available. We saw that long ball for Dwight McNeil to chase and Phil Foden having to leg it back in that right-back position. John Stones is now there, in truth. Good ball from Ake into Alvarez. He's got to keep that ball. Alvarez does really well. Doku, one-on-one with Godfrey. It's a great defender, Godfrey. He's got his work cut out for him today. Jeremy Doku doesn't even fancy it. Didn't even try to take him on. Yep, 0 shots, mate. 0 shots for anybody. It's a 12:30 game, that's what I've been saying. It's weird. I don't know why football players don't seem to be able to play exciting football at 12:30, but there is this weird, like, history of 12:30 kickoffs just being boring games. And that's why Klopp always whinges about it, because Liverpool have played the most 12:30 kickoffs out of everybody. But here we are with the 12:30 kickoff, and it's living up to the 12:30 history so far, but you never know. This is Manchester City at the end of the day. We can put 3 past you in the space of 5 minutes. So Diaz ball over the top to Nunes. It's a poor ball. These long balls, Everton are dealing with them quite easily, to be honest. Diaz steps forward and intercepts that ball. Rodri's now got it. Burst of pace from Rodri that you don't often see. Haaland there was the good ball from Rodri. Haaland peeled away too much. He got a show for it there, Haaland. Rodri did the right thing and he beat his man and he tried to do a little 5-yard pass inside to Haaland, but Haaland was running too far away. He had no options, Rodri. He was stuck. He was going down a dead end. He needs to get that switch on, Blues. It's a bit shaky so far. Everton are going to be growing in confidence. A big tackle from Akanji, that though. Big 6-7 yard slide tackle. And he had to be careful as well because it was a bouncing ball, so you've got to raise your foot to win it. You know, and if you're raising your foot like that and you connect with an Everton leg, could be a blue card. Fucking blue cards. What a load of shit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The UEFA, apparently, with regards to blue cards, have said they're insisting that there can be no trials. Here we go. City are in. Got to get it. Haaland into Alvarez. Lovely ball from Haaland. Alvarez slows it down. He's got Foden back post. Alvarez thinks about the shot and it's blocked. It was a good little run from Foden, but Alvarez needs to try and find him a bit earlier there. Doku into the penalty area. Thinks about the shot and it's wasted. Not sure what Doku was doing then. He ended up shooting and his whole body just did a 360 spin. But yeah, UEFA have said they're insisting no trials at the elite level of the game, which rules out next season's FA Cup being used as trials for this stupid fucking blue card. When I heard a blue card, I thought, oh, is this a new card just for Manchester City? Just a punishment for us. It wouldn't surprise me. Just for, like, if Manchester City have the ball for too long or something like that. Right, that's a fucking blue card, that. Had enough of that. And why blue as well? I get why it's not orange, because the colour could be confusing. It's like it could be too close to yellow, too close to red. Nunes, left wing. And his cross is blocked. But blue is like the colour of calming, isn't it? Strong from Ruben Diaz. Calvert-Lewin tried to back into him there, and Ruben Diaz was having none of it. Does really well there, Ruben Diaz. But yeah, blue is the colour of calm, isn't it? And like relax. Which is what the rule is as well. It's for sin bins, as in blue card, go and calm yourself down with a bit of... Look at some colours, blue preferably, and you'll feel calm. Oh, that's a load of nonsense. This is, what, we're 20 minutes in? I'm not feeling confident about this game at all. The way this has panned out, we need to create something. The passing again from Akanji, mate. Into Núñez. It looks disjointed. It really does look disjointed. He's absolutely changed so much here, Pep Guardiola. That's to be expected. To see the level of cohesion not quite to be against Brentford and prior games. We've won 9 games in a row playing very similar style of football. He's flipped the script today. He's changed a lot. A lot. It's too much, I think. Not for a Premier League game like this. I think it's risky. But who am I to judge Pep Guardiola? Do you know what I mean? Win the game, I don't really give a shit. But right now, there's evidence that this game isn't going to plan. Okay, there's the plan. That's the plan. Long ball over to Foden for the 4th time in the game. And he's found a bit of space, but he's surrounded by Everton players and no one's near him. Akanji has to get involved. So it doesn't help if Phil Foden's been surrounded by Everton players when he gets the ball. There's Doku now with a bit of space on the other side of the pitch. Doku thinks about it. He's trying to go down to his left foot, asks for a... No, he doesn't. I thought he was going to ask for a handball there, but Ben Godfrey's hands were by his side. Ake now. Cheers, section, by the way. Hope you're doing well, section. Yeah, nearly 150 in the building. Oof, close to 100 likes. Can we get to 100 before half-time? That'd be good. Let's throw into to City. Akanji. Back to Ake. See, these passes, they're just a bit off. You know, they're a bit laboured. They're just getting there. Do you know what I mean? You want to fizz them in. I want to see that ball, like ping, ping, ping. Fire it about. Here's the man for the job. Phil Foden drives a shot and it's blocked. Núñez's control is sloppy and it's going to trickle out for a throw. And if Doku can keep it in, he does. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing more infuriating when the player's like looking at the ball, waiting for it. They don't want to be waiting for it. They want it fired into feet. And if you do it once, he'll do it the next time because the momentum will be set. Doku's ball, he's asking Foden to chase that. Didn't really have a chance there and Foden stayed down. I hope he's all right. He's got up. He looks all right. Big tackle from Tarkowski. One that every centre-back dreams of. You know, easy to win and you can take the player with it as well. Do you know what I mean? You can hurt him a little bit. Perfectly legal but painful for the attacking player, and he's left a little bit on Foden, who's back on his feet and onto the right wing. John Stones, who's been quiet, very quiet so far, not really seeing much of him in midfield. I'd rather see him in midfield. I don't know why he keeps trusting Akanji. And so far, it's been about 6 passes or so. Haaland, he's got some space. He's been fed by Alvarez, and he couldn't hold up the ball. He was surrounded by Everton shirts, but there was a little sniff of a chance there. Alvarez getting back, some good tracking back from Alvarez there, but Rodri's slide tackle isn't won and Jack Harrison comes away with the ball. Akanji gets across and Ashley Young can't get on the end of it thanks to Akanji's interception. Now City come the other way with Everton players a little bit out of shape here, Everton. There's a bit of an opportunity if we're quick about it, but we're not quick about it. We're dilly-dallying. Why are we so slow? Crosses come in and it's shit. It's poor. Come on, Blues. It's just nowhere near a blue shirt, that. It's not even close. I'm not even sure who you're trying to find there. Calvert-Lewin on his own trying to hold the ball up. John Stones gets the ball. Swap on, mate. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I'm glad you knew. Hope you're doing all right, mate. Shanti, good to see you as well. Yeah, Bernardo Silva's on the bench as well. So I'm pleased with the bench, but the bench is not going to do any damage, is it? So unless it comes onto the pitch. Topaz, I agree. It's really sloppy so far. We've got 205 passes to their 35, 92% passing accuracy. They surprise me, those stats. Doesn't feel like that at all. It's not so much the accuracy. Akanji's accuracy has been the only player that stood out as someone who's not quite finding blue shirts when he should be doing. It's more the speed. Look at this. We're stood around when no one's fucking moving. Everton, they'll love this, Everton. No problem to defend this. Easy to defend. There's no movement. That's the plan, though. There's the long ball to Doku, and he's beating his fullback. That's the game plan. Into the 6-yard box, and no one was there. Alvarez was arriving late. Where's Haaland? Why is he there? He's walking about, Erling. Get in the box, mate. That's the one opportunity you've had to get into the 6-yard box. Calvert-Lewin's just fucking suplexed Ruben Diaz off the pitch. Talking a lot about wrestling, aren't they? Is that you? Is that you, Big M? I haven't looked at it. Because I gave some people options that I imagine there's some rival fans clicked in. Is that you? There's 6%, so it can't just be you. Absolutely not. I can't stand you. Who can't stand me? Who the fuck can't stand me? And who wants me to impress them? What do you want me to do? I'll set myself up there now. I need to do a little dance or something, be a little performing monkey. What the fuck? It's a free kick. How's that a free kick to Everton? Yeah, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Really helps. I'm going to end that poll because I don't want people to... I was worried it was going to be like 80%. Absolutely not. I can't stand you. Ball's come in and it's won, but straight into the hands of Edison. Wasn't even a threat, really. But I don't know how that was a free kick there. Swear the linesman flagged and went that way. City ball. Probably. It's probably. My missus, she doesn't watch the watchalongs. I don't think she's watched a single minute of my watchalongs or any of my videos. Why would she? She's a big United fan. Doku! Lovely burst down the left-hand side. Dinks it back post. Erling Haaland! Oh! He gets up big. He gets up. That's great wing play from Jeremy Doku. Really good attacking football from Jeremy Doku. Explodes into action. First time we've seen anything that's excited me this entire game, in truth. And Jeremy Doku is the man to bring that excitement to me. Really good play. Not afraid to use his left foot, and it was a decent ball to that back post. Haaland leaps up, hangs in the air for an extra second, and nods it over the bar. Just couldn't quite hang for long enough. Could show a bar of soap for offensive language. I had a childminder that did that, you know. You know, if you swore as a kid, I never had it done to me, thankfully. But I think that's bang out of order. Have a bar of soap in your mouth if you swear. That's just, imagine doing that today. Imagine like childminders today doing that. You'd be in fucking prison. It's mental. Mrs. Johnny watching Goldbridge and types 115 in the chat. Every time she's seen Mark Goldbridge, she definitely prefers him to me. Definitely. Why wouldn't she? Well, especially on the subject matter. Looks-wise, I feel like I might win that battle. But, you know. What am I talking about? It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, swap on. Goldfish. You got horseradish in the mouth, but at least that's food. Do you know what I mean? At least that's edible. You're not going to feel sick. But yeah, horseradish is a bit of a grim one. It's mad, isn't it? Parenting styles. How quickly they've changed. I've got 2 kids now. We're going too soft though. I'm not hard, but I've got that nice blend, I think, of being with modern society. Like, you do not hit your kids. Doesn't teach them anything hitting them. All it teaches them is to hit other people. That's how you deal with it, by hitting someone. That's the way to live your life, is it? By punching and hitting. I think that's wrong, so I think that's right. But with your words, use your words. You need to be more forthright and be a bit more of an authority figure. Some of the stuff I hear from parents that my lad goes to school with now, they're as dads, I'm hearing dads like, oh, my lad was playing Fortnite. Yeah, he was playing Fortnite, and I told him to turn it off, and he punched me in the stomach. I'm like, you what? He punched you in the stomach? Like, I couldn't believe it. And then he tried to escape the house, tried to run away. It's a 7-year-old lad doing that. Like, what the fuck? I'm sure there's troubled children out there that are a little bit overly violent, but I mean, the way he talked about it was like, boys will be boys, punching their dads. Mental. Everton, trying to get in here. Ruben Diaz steps across Calvert-Lewin. Edison, cool as a cucumber. Spreads it out to John Stones with Foden on the overlap. John Stones carrying it beautifully, and he threads a lovely ball down the line for Foden. Foden's got to slow down, cuts inside, and he's fed the ball to Nunes. If Nunes gets that ball across, what a counter-attacking move that would have been. But you know what I mean? Some part of me thinks, Jeff, Parents are definitely too soft. You can be friends with when they're older, but you need to be a parent 100%. Part of me thinks maybe I'm lucky. Maybe I got a good egg. You know what I mean? Maybe my children I don't know how my 8-month-year-old girl's going to grow up to be. But my 6-year-old lad, he's so well behaved, man. He's such a good little boy. Cross comes in, and it's over everybody, but it's going to land to Doku. He whips it in, and it's a bit too shallow, that cross. He needs to get a bit more trajectory on it. Alvarez thinks about whipping it in. He does. Near post, another poor one, another poor delivery. There's only really been Doku's cross that's been a good one so far in this game that found the head of Erling Haaland at the back post. Every other cross has come in. It's been really bad. Like, not even close to a City shirt. Goldbridge is a comfortable benchmark for looks. Doku. Lovely. Into Akanji, tries to... There's a good little bit of skill from Doku. There's Ake. Even more unlikely. Tell you what, Calvert-Lewin needs to get his... If you're an Everton fan, you'd think, switch on, mate, because there was a ball in there and Everton were in business, but he doesn't see the run, and now Doku's got the ball. Back to Akanji. Got away with that one there, Ake did, because his miscontrol landed it to the feet of Calvert-Lewin, and I don't think he saw the run. He had his head down, too busy thinking about winning his battle against Ruben Diaz. If he just dinks it over the top of everybody, Jack Harrison was in, but here he is again, Jeremy Doku. Slows it down one-on-one with Ashley Young. Akanji dinks it back post deep. Pickford comes and just gets a fingertip to it. Foden's got to go and chase the cross. Not Nunez in the corner of the edge of the area. Lays it to Phil Foden. Shot! Blocked! That's Phil Foden all day long. He loves them shots from those angles, doesn't he? And he always goes for the near post. It's a technique of his. He scored very similar from that position against Jordan Pickford, and it went near post at Goodison Park earlier in the season to make it 1-1. Out of nothing as well. Out of absolutely nothing. Doku miscontrols it, but he keeps it still. He's going to beat Godfrey. He's beating him. Gets it into the box, and no one there again. He's cut it back too deep. Rodri thinks about the shot on the edge of the area. Nunez, inside the box. So many pink shirts in the way. He gets it across, and it's cleared by Branthwaite. Out for a throw into City, but we're turning the screw a little bit here now. We're starting to play a little bit better football, posing a lot more of a threat as well, which is good. I'm shocked that John Stones is playing deep and Akanji's playing in midfield. I'd swap them two. I just see John Stones as a better player, an all well-rounded footballer than Akanji is. I think Akanji's a better defender than John Stones. But I don't know why they're playing in roles reverse here. It's an odd one. Stones' cross, I mean... Just look at that cross. Nobody, absolutely nobody there. If you're going to cross it, find a man or at least get it close to a City shirt. It's frustrating, this. It really is. And Phil Foden's doing what's asked of him by playing on the right wing, but I'd like to see him a little bit more central to this because I'm not seeing enough from Manchester City. Akanji's got some defending to do with Nathan Ake here because Calvert-Lewin's held up the ball. Everton players are pushing forward. Idrissa Gueye into Jack Harrison. Dinks it into Calvert-Lewin who can't bring it down. There's still a little thorn in the side of Manchester City's defence as Calvert-Lewin. There's just that little threat there. He's not making the most of his opportunities though right now, Calvert-Lewin, because he's had a lot of the ball. More than I'm comfortable with for a side that's come here for a point. Their centre-forward's had a lot of the ball. And he's not done anything with it, thankfully. He's been really poor, in fact, Calvert-Lewin, which I could happily report all day long. Lovely ball from Ake. Haaland's got some space and he holds the ball up really well and he feeds it to Alvarez, but he's on his own, Alvarez, and he's barraging his way through somehow. A couple of lucky ricochets, and he's given away a free kick somehow there. I'm not sure that was a free kick. Godfrey's gone down like a sack of shit there. Like, what's he thinking there? There's no way that's a foul. Yeah, the Barnsley Beckenbauer. Jeff went 4-0, Big M. Doku brace and Haaland brace. 4-0 was I can't see that, Jeff, with the way this game is going. Slept funny last night, you know. It's nothing worse. It ruins your day, doesn't it? Sleeping funny. And your neck's just like... I feel like I've got a Frankenstein bolt in it. Look like Frankenstein as well. I've got the square head for it, haven't I? Haaland trying to close down Mikulenko. He's got Dwight McNeil ahead of him. Long ball over the top. Edison collects it. What's everyone's opinion on the blue cards? I might do a little poll for that. Hang on a minute. Nunes. Oh, Nunes bottled it. I just, out of nowhere, just quickly look away, and Nunes was in on goal all of a sudden. And he bottled it. He didn't want to get hurt. Pickford comes out, didn't fancy it. And here come Everton. And it's across the face of goal, and it goes all the way out for a throw-in, thankfully. But I need to see that again. Because Nunes, if he goes in now, he could get himself, he'd get Pickford sent off, or at least booked, maybe a penalty. I'll start a poll. Doku. Ashley Young bringing it down. Nathan Ake's got some defending to do. Ashley Young's going to whip that ball in. It's gone near post. And Dwight McNeil, Jack Harrison's ballooned it all the way into the Everton fans. City knocking the ball about at the back. And no threat again, though, really, in this half from Manchester City. Very minimal threat. Everton got the ball now. They're starting to string some passes together here. 38 minutes in, and City are camped on the halfway line here. Pickford's got space in front of him. I'm all for this, to be honest. It's the first time I've seen Everton open up whatsoever. I mean, if they give the ball away, we're in business. But one long ball over the top, and it's landed right on the back of the head of Calvert-Lewin, who's running away from it, hoping it lands over his shoulder, but it bonks onto the back of his head, thankfully. But there was that long ball again that we saw against Brentford that sent us 1-0 down. We could do without that. Sloppy from Rodri, and Diaz had to go and leg it after it. Nunes, burst of speed, and he just pokes it out for a throw-in. It's really, really sloppy. Pep's trying to rile up the City players here, you know. He's obviously not impressed. Pickford at the back. Not much press from City either. There you go, press that. No, he's knocked it round the corner. Tarkowski's bringing it forward now. Yeah, hot hits. I'll be watching the AFCON final, mate. It's going to be a big one. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Some big games this week, actually. Got a Bayer Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich. It really is starting to look possible, isn't it? We joked about it at the start of the season, didn't we? Just imagine Harry Kane going to Bayern Munich to win trophies, and then Bayer Leverkusen win the league. That would be funny. That was like, haha, yeah, as if. Very fucking realistically possible now, isn't it? Like, it could actually happen. They could go 5 points clear if they beat Bayern Munich. Unbelievable. Long ball. John Stones, who's now playing right back, to be honest. City without the ball, gone to John Stones right back, Diaz and Akanji in the middle as two centre-backs and Ake left back. But when we have the ball, it's Akanji who pushes forward. It baffles me that. Am I the only one who sees John Stones as a much better footballer than Manuel Akanji? He's not a bad player, Akanji. Just on the ball. If you're asking someone to receive it facing Ederson in a tight pocket of space, surrounded by Everton players, who are you going to pick, John Stones or Manuel Akanji? John Stones all day long. All day. I'll answer my own question. John Stones. It's baffling performance. Here he is, John Stones. The Barnsley Beckenbauer brings it forward and he sprays. There you go, mate. Sprays a lovely ball with his left foot, weaker foot, into the channel for Nunes. Nunes thinking about crossing it. He's done a step over. Not done anything with it there. Nunes is a poor half from Mateus Nunes so far. He's offered absolutely nothing. Nunes has been brilliant lately as well, but this is a proper Premier League opposition now. He's been playing in games and he's been shining against the likes of Huddersfield, where he played brilliantly. The FIFA Club World Cup, I thought he was outstanding. But that's lesser opposition. You're going up against proper Premier League. They're a mid-table team, let's be honest. They're just in the relegation zone because of the points deductions, which is a whole other topic as well. But City pinning Everton back now. That pink wall is looking more and more difficult to break down. But here's probably the best man to do it, Jeremy Doku. He beats Ashley Young in the blink of an eye. Knocks it back to Ake. Ake whips it. That was goal-bound as well. Ake was going for a shot there. Rodri's thinking about it as well. Little ball out to Ake. Ake's cross is another poor cross. How many poor crosses have we put into this box in this first half? Pep needs to change this. There needs to be a tweak. He needs to do something here. Because it ain't working. We've not even looked like scoring, in truth. That's the issue. If we were creating chances, I don't mind being 0-0 at half-time if it's like it's coming. The goal's coming. It's not coming. It's not coming at all. It looks like we're going to have to do something brilliant. It's going to have to be a worldie or a little bit of luck where it bobbles around in the penalty area. We got a bit of luck against Brentford, mind you. It wasn't too dissimilar performance in that first half where the crosses were coming in were poor. And that De Bruyne cross was a shit one. Thankfully, Pinnock heads it into the fucking sky and it drops right to Phil Foden. That was luck. Thank you, Pinnock, for doing that, because it gifted Phil Foden a pocket of space that we hadn't been afforded in the entire first half. Kind of the same here. We've got a free kick now. Phil Foden's been brought down. You're absolutely right, Nick Nack. Pickford's done bugger all. Not a save to make. A tweak will not cut it. What are you thinking then, Kurt? It needs bypass surgery, does it? Completely rip out the midfield and change it altogether. I don't think Pep's that aggressive, not at half-time. I tell you what, I'd take a 1-0 lead now. That would be a bit of a smash and grab, in truth. Phil Foden and Alvarez on the corner of the edge of the area, coming in from the right-hand side in which City attack. Phil Foden's cross in, back post, and Akanji's somehow kept that in. He just sort of stuck out a leg, preventing it from going out from a goal kick, but it just goes straight in the air, and Pickford comes and collects it, and then, a little shithouse. He's a little shithouse, Jordan Pickford, didn't he? He just did that to all the Everton players and did that. He literally did that. How can you not see that referee and go, he's the biggest cheating, time-wasting bastard in the Premier League? He really is. He's a shithouse, man, Jordan Pickford. Can't stand the guy. Even when he's playing for England and I want England to win, I'm like, you're a dick, mate. Like, you just seem like I wouldn't want to play with you behind me. I'd be like, shut your fucking mouth, mate. He's never positive. Do you know what I mean? It's always whinging. He's just such a whinge bag. Other than that, he's all right. How about punishment for a blue card? Hang on a minute, they're giving it away. Oh, what the fuck, Alvarez? Suddenly, I was just talking about being blindfolded, laughing about that comment there, and then Alvarez wins the ball back somehow. And then it catches my eye. Alvarez has an opportunity to pass to Haaland, who would have been one-on-one with Pickford, and his left foot pass trying to feed it across, he just slices it straight to Pickford. How about punishment for a blue card? Should be blindfolded for 10 minutes, but that wouldn't really affect Man United. No. It most certainly would not. 3 minutes of injury time has been added. They need a rocket up the arse, this lot, because it isn't just formations either. It's sloppy. Tempo is slow. It's not attitudes. It's not a case of like, oh, they don't care, they're not trying. They're trying. It's just sloppy. It's just got that same 12:30 feel. I don't know what it is. There's the option. Maybe it messes with players' diets and pre-match routines, things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like if you play at 3 o'clock, you wake up, have your breakfast 9 o'clock, you have a nap at 11 o'clock, get yourself some energy before 3 o'clock kickoff, whatever it is. I don't know. All players have different routines, don't they? But 12:30 means you've got to change your routine. But it shouldn't have this much of an effect. Do you know what I mean? It's just 90 minutes of football at the end of the day. Alvarez into Haaland's feet, holds it up, has to go wide again. And it's a sloppy ball. It goes to Doku. It was meant for Ake. Diaz. John Stones has to turn. I'd get Núñez off, you know. He's not offering anything. It's Kevin De Bruyne game all day long. Kevin De Bruyne, I'm sorry, Núñez. It's just not been good enough from Mateus Núñez, and I really want it to be. Núñez, prove me wrong. It goes out wide to Stones. Stones is cross out for a corner. One last chance, really. Can we nick something before half time? Yeah. Haaland's frustrated. He needs to. His body language doesn't look too positive, to be honest. Alvarez's corner comes in, goes deep. Haaland. He wins it, but it doesn't land to a City player, and it's not really cleared either. It's bobbling around. Haaland nods it. Ake, go! Come on, Manuel! Oh, and it's blocked. It landed to Manuel Akanji, incredibly fortunately, and he brings it down. And his left foot strike is blocked by Tarkowski, and I think that was heading for the top corner. It probably was as well, and it hits the hand of Tarkowski, but it's tucked in his arm. It's no way is that a penalty. Oh, Manuel Akanji, who's had a very poor first half, could have walked away with a goal. And Doku so far is only the bright spark. They're looking at it. Why are they looking at it? I've seen it already. Yeah, now play on the referee. Fucking hell, the referee's taking 30 seconds to decide if that was a handball. Not in a million years. Alvarez whips it in. And it's cleared, but it comes to Phil Foden, edge of the box. It's bobbling around. It's not cleared. It's going to go out for another corner ball. With pinning them back a little bit. Can we steal a goal here? Because it would be a theft. It would be highway robbery, to be honest. We don't deserve a 1-0 lead from this game. But I'll take it. Goes short, Alvarez to Foden. He's got to do well. Oh, ball from Alvarez. Shit! Sums up the first half. That's fucking infuriating. Half-time whistle goes. That was absolute crap, that corner. Not the half wasn't great, but that corner, that wound me up, that did. Alvarez's corner, he gets the ball in front of the corner spot, and he just boots it to Phil Foden, and he gets air on it. You know what I mean? He's 15 yards away. Keep the ball down, mate. Give him a chance to control it, and you'll probably get the ball back. Instead, he chips it about 5 yards in the air, where Phil Foden's got to backtrack, bring it down with his side foot, bring it down and kill it. Phil Foden's then closed down immediately, and he's got to then give Alvarez a shit ball back because the ball to him was shit, and I had to spend time controlling it. And instead, Alvarez then gets on the end of it, and Alvarez's control runs underneath his foot out for a goal kick. What a shower that was. I mean, the first half wasn't great, but that summed up the first half, that did. Alvarez has not been great. Núñez has been sloppy with his pass. Akanji's been really sloppy with his passes, but I don't... What do you expect? He's not the greatest on the ball. He's all right, but I don't see him as an out-and-out midfielder. Do you know what I mean? Playing in midfield with Manuel Akanji. I'm not convinced at all. Why John Stones and Akanji don't just swap makes way more sense to me. A lot more sense. I think Foden's been a lively... He's offered himself. He's struggled because the team around him have been sloppy, in my opinion. I don't want to protect Phil Foden too much, but he hasn't been making any mistakes. He's been doing the right things when he's got the ball. When he has got the ball, he's been surrounded by Everton players. And needs to get close to him. Doku on the other side has been lively a couple of times. He's beaten his fullback. Only once has he really put a good ball into the box, though. One that it was good as well. Haaland just wasn't quite big enough. I think he mistimed his jump a little bit because it did land right on his forehead, but it goes over the bar. And we're starting to see Haaland's gone through a numerous amount of games now without a goal. Or numerous appearances. Not really fair to say games, because, I mean, he came on for, 19 minutes? Was it against Burnley? And he was sloppy in that game. Can't really judge him on the Brentford game either, because, I mean, he was stifled out of the game, had no opportunities to speak of, but he got himself an assist, which was really good number 9 play, setting up Phil Foden. But that was a half chance, more than a half chance for Haaland, that, at the back post. For someone like Haaland as well, mind you, who's good in the air. But interesting first half of football. Pep's got his work cut out. Just going to sort this clock out quickly. Just bear with me. But yeah, interesting news as well with regards to the Savio transfer. A lot of the publications in England right now suggesting that Manchester City are cheating once again. That we are cheating with the signing of Savio, with regards to fair value. That's the term that I'm hearing now. What's the fair market value of Savio? How much have Manchester City paid for Savio? Because if they've paid 20p for Savio, then we're not going to be happy. Then, yeah, obviously, that's not what the City are doing. But the fact that they're even questioning that, it just stinks of an agenda that's so hateful towards Manchester City, and clearly jealous that this project, this operation of the CFG, is just unrivaled in terms of the quality. And now they're starting to see, they didn't have a problem when we were loaning out players and trickling the talent down the pyramid that is the CFG. Now that talent is working its way up and ending up at the pinnacle, at the flagship club that's Manchester City of CFG Group. The kid's worked his way up from Troyes to Girona and then to Manchester City. I heard, what's that clown? I've listened to him. What's his name? Is it Hassam? Liverpool fan. I heard him speak for 5 minutes about a month ago. Didn't even know who he was before then. I'm actively going out of my way to now not listen to him because he talks the most amount of shit I've ever heard. But I heard him say, what if he wanted to sign for Liverpool? Then City would say no, they'd charge us 60, 70 million. But like, if he wants to go to City, it'll only cost 20 million. Just plucking out this fantasy that every player in the world wants to play for Liverpool, apparently. No, when you play like Manchester City do, and you win the trophies that Manchester City win, guess what? Players want to play for you. When you have a manager like Pep Guardiola, and they talk about protecting the clubs as well. That's what infuriates me the most. Isn't that what financial fair play is? Isn't that what the whole rules are meant to be? Is about, we're looking out at the best interests of the clubs. We don't want those Bury situations or any other club going into administration. We've got to protect our clubs because they can't police themselves, these clubs. They don't know how the business works, apparently. They don't know how to spend money to the point where they go out of business. Okay, so that's what you're protecting us from. Well, where the fuck were you when we were spending 100 million on Jack Grealish? I didn't hear you pipe up then saying, where's the fair market value for 100 million pounds for Jack Grealish? Not a fucking word was said then in terms of like fair market value. But in terms of fair market value, now we're signing players on the cheap, like Erling Haaland for 55 million. He's not even in the CFG group and people are questioning the price tag that we're paying for these players. It's an absolute joke. Because we know how business is, we're such a well-run business side of football club, people are levelling at us that we're now cheating the other way, that we're spending too little now. We went from spending too much and we're not spending enough now. We can't fucking win. Absolute shithouses, the lot of them. Absolute jokers. Fucking fair market value. Sorry, I got annoyed there. So I thought I'd save that for half time. Anyway. But honestly, it's not even subtle anymore. They're so transparent. So transparent. Really. And the Haaland deal, apparently he's on £600 billion a minute at Manchester City. Because there's no way we paid 55 million for him. And he's only on 300 grand a week. I say only, but I mean, that's the hierarchy of wages at Manchester City. Haaland should not be coming in and getting more money than Kevin De Bruyne. He isn't. Kevin De Bruyne is our highest paid player. And then I think there's Haaland down there, but I mean, fucking hell, the guy scored 600 million goals last year. So I think he deserves to be well paid in consideration of the wage structure at Manchester City. I feel like he's being compensated fairly, fairly. And then the term fair is what is fair market value. That whole thing is subjective. It's just opinions at the end of the day. Who decides what the value's worth? Because 55 million for Erling Haaland is not fair market value. But you can blame Borussia Dortmund for that, not us. They're the ones that put the release clause at that price. Don't blame us. We paid it. We triggered it. Everyone else can afford that. United couldn't afford that, could they? Could United not afford that 55 million? No, Chelsea couldn't afford that. No, they'd rather spend 80 million on Antony instead, because that was great business. Where's the fair fucking market value in that? Do you know what I mean? 90 million for Pogba. Where's the market value in that? 90 million for Lukaku. Where's the market value in that? You know, protecting. Why don't you protect Manchester United from going out of business and spending a shower of shit on absolute clowns that come in and destroy the football club? Where's the protection for them? You know, they're billions in debt. You know, where's that protection? It's nonsense. And then you've got the FSR rules, the PSR, the Profit and Sustainability Regulations, that they're now being changed. I joked in my most recent video where I like to go on rants about these fucking clowns that are trying to ruin the game of football, or at least reshape the structure of football so the elite clubs who were the elite clubs of the 80s and the 90s stay there, and they don't have the likes of City and Chelsea and Newcastle and PSG changing that structure and coming in and changing it, basically. That's what they don't want. And I laughed at how many times financial fair play rules have changed. And with that, they changed it to profit and sustainability. Well, guess what they had to do with the profit and sustainability? All of a sudden, Nottingham Forest are getting fined and charged. Everton are getting points docked. Newcastle have to sell all their players because they can't, and no one's spending any money. And guess what? The January transfer market was the most boring January transfer market we've ever seen. So well done, Premier League. You want to keep that cash flowing, though, don't you? You've got to keep the cash flowing. Because without transfers, who wants to watch the Premier League? If the best players don't come to the league, who wants to watch the Premier League? Well, we need to change that, don't we? So the profit and sustainability rules are gone now, apparently. They're barely a year old. Barely a year old. And they're going to change that now and go back to FFP. These guys don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. And the FFP rules is going back to more about the percentage of what you earn. So it's going back to Man United and City, and luckily, thank God for that, because we have a ridiculous amount of revenue. We can now spend even more money. United's revenue is really high. Real Madrid's revenue is really high. You know, and now it's more about the percentage, so it's nothing to do with Real Madrid in truth, because they're a different thing. The PSR is the Premier League, but we're going back to FFP, which is basically the UEFA rules of, I think it's 70% of what you earn or something along those lines. You can spend, basically. You can spend a certain percentage of your revenue, whereas before you could only spend over a certain amount of money, over like a £30 million amount over the £100 million mark, or whatever the figure was, that all these clubs got to incredibly quickly, realised they couldn't spend anymore, and then nobody bought anybody in January. But the Premier League, oh god, shit, we can't have that. We can't have no one buying anybody. We've got to charge every fucker in the Premier League now, have we? Or change the rules again. Absolute shit show. They don't have a clue what they're doing. Not a clue. Not a clue. And this is who we're going up against, Blues. So this is why Pep Guardiola comes out and says, I can't wait for the 115 charges verdict, because we're going up against morons. We're going up against clowns that are just moving the goalposts week in, week out. The financial rule goalposts, you know. And it's a travesty. It really is. And you know what's really sad? The fact that this came in the same week that they start talking about blue cards. If they don't want to humiliate themselves even more by changing these financial rules, they throw that one in there as well. How can we make ourselves look like even bigger twats? I know, we'll introduce blue cards. That's what we'll do. We'll fuck up the game even more. Oh, brilliant idea that. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, honestly. It makes me not like football anymore. It makes me fall out of love with the game. Hearing these things, picturing the future of the game with blue cards and VAR that's progressively getting worse. And I tell you what, I was all for VAR. I still am for VAR in theory. And the offside thing as well. Like, why do we refuse to use what FIFA used in the World Cup and what UEFA used? Their technology is brilliant. With that, the wall, instead of the line on the floor, there's that wall, and you can just see the silhouette of a character, a player. Thinking of video games, a player with his arms like on the other side of that wall, and it like pokes through the other side of the wall. or his head or whatever it may be. That makes it so simple and clear and quick. But these smart asses in the UK are just like, nah, we don't want that fancy technology. That's too fancy. That's too good. We want to make life really hard for ourselves. We'll stick with our fucking lines on the floor instead, that we can't work out anything. It looks dubious as to who. It still doesn't make it clear, in my opinion. Whereas there's a perfectly good system being used in the rest of the world, but typical of the UK, when it comes to football at least, turning up late to the party, thinking about things in the wrong way. Overly thinking outside the box and thinking they're cleverer than they actually are. These guys are morons and they're ruining the game. Johnny will break his TV if he sees a rainbow card, mate. Yeah. It's just, it's alarming, and I'm scared for the future of football. I really am. Like, it doesn't excite me. You know, blue cards coming in, VAR is progressively getting worse and taking longer. Howard Webb has come in as the head of PGMOL, trying to change so much. It's alarming. It's really, really alarming. But almost as alarming as Manchester City's first half performance, in truth. Yeah, I do. Sub 2. Two-footed. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Honestly, the day that we get the announcement. And the thing is, with the announcement with regards to City's innocence or guilt, brace yourselves. We're going to hear Manchester City are guilty. That's what it'll be at first, and then we'll take it to the next stage. Obviously, there's no CAS, but there is other means that Manchester City can appeal. We can appeal to the same body that charged us to begin with, and they just will create a new independent panel. There may be the case where that would be humiliating for the Premier League if they charge us and their first panel that they actually are is a genuinely independent, which would be great news if it is genuinely independent, and they find us innocent from the very beginning, because that will be humiliating for the Premier League. Do you think they're even going to allow that to happen? I don't think they'd allow it to happen. They would need to do something very strategic with regards to their image and appearance as an organisation. They would be humiliated, and they would need to do something very tactical in the media to sort of, kind of similar to how people hang on to the fact that City failed to cooperate. So we're still the same cheats, apparently. All the accusations that we were accused of fabricating documents, falsifying sponsorship deals, falsifying figures, misrepresenting figures, illegal behaviour that would eventually, should really go to the court of law, you know, and see City, some people end up potentially looking at a prison sentence for some of this behaviour that we're being accused of. And if that's the case, or at least some ridiculous fines for individuals, but they instead they included the failed to cooperate, and people think that's the same as everything else. City failed to cooperate had nothing to do with all the financial things. Yeah, failed to cooperate. I'd failed to cooperate with these clowns. These guys are coming up with blue cards. Do you want to cooperate with these dickheads? I certainly don't. Fuck me. Unbelievable. Come on, City. Team's out. Enough about the Premier League. Let's win it. Let's win their trophy again. Haaland's out. No changes from City unless there's something I've missed. Nunes, Rodri, Alvarez, Doku. Nope, same team. Same team. No changes from Pep. We'll see if there's any changes with regards to the starting 11 in terms of formation, tactics. Jeff's got his lucky boxes on, so we should be good now. And we're off. Pickford, long ball. And it's Rodri, who wins it first time. Into Calvert-Lewin, though. He tries a shot, and it's going to go wide. It has gone wide. First shot, really, for Everton to speak of. And it was a trickler. Clara, Jeff's got one already. He's gone 4-0. With Jeremy Doku and Haaland getting 2 each. Kanji out to Nathan Ake. No changes from Everton either, but that was to be expected. Akanji's looking a little bit deeper, or is he? Alvarez has dropped really deep. Just trying to figure out what City now. It's the same again, really. I'm surprised. Jeff's getting himself a hat-trick. For anyone who wants to become a member, feel free to do so. You get yourself access to those emojis. There's a few other players in there as well. Jeremy Doku, Haaland, Jeff's little face as well. Powerful play from Doku there against Ben Godfrey, who's a good defender, Godfrey, as well. Lovely ball into Akanji. Akanji's... he's lost the ball there, Akanji. See, that's the centre-back being asked to be creative. I mean, it's not like he's playing in alongside Rodri either. He's really high up the pitch. Do you know what I mean? He's in the pockets. Manuel Akanji. And he just received the ball off Doku. Doku was running down the left wing and a lovely little ball into the feet of Akanji, but he couldn't take it with him. Little opportunity there from Nunes, little dink into Foden, who couldn't bring it under his spell. I think he was trying to head it on to Haaland, but into the box from Doku, and it's not cleared because it's gone straight up in the air. Alvarez, so silly. He's just pushed Tarkowski in the back. Unnecessary. And now Tarkowski's got cramp in the 47th minute. What a... Honestly. Yeah, Jeff, I think you're right. Rico Lewis would be doing a better job in this role, this new Manuel Akanji role. Got Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. And Kyle Walker warming up. See, that's Akanji there. Brilliant. He just manhandled Calvert-Lewin fairly. Wins the ball, gets his foot in front of him as the long ball's coming down towards him. He's got hold of him. He's in the spider web. Does really well. I'd love to see Akanji there all day. That's his bread and butter, defending like that. Rodri's pushed forward this time, though. That's the man you want in those positions. Alvarez, shot! Oh, and it's well wide. To be honest, as soon as I thought it looked like this angle, it might be going top corner. But Pickford just didn't move, so I had a feeling that was going horribly wide. From the angle on the TV, it looked good. But the angle behind the goal now, I feel like this is going to look terrible. Yeah, it's absolutely atrocious. Why it made me have a sharp intake of breath is beyond me. I went, oh, that was shit. Like, how shit was that? Really bad from Alvarez. Not even close. Foden's driving inside. Rodri's looking. Oh, Rodri does well, though. Does well into Foden. Foden looks to be ignoring Pep's instructions right now. Or maybe they're not his instructions because he's playing centrally now. And it's Nunes who's out on the right wing, which I prefer that there because I think Foden's going to offer more of a threat in the middle. So we've gone to that system that I suggested might happen at the start of the game with Nunes being right wing. Nunes has won a free kick, pushing the back from Mikhaelenko into Nunes. That should be an LOL stat. Could well be, Clara. Akanji. Ake. Oh, it's not a good football match, this at all. Like, for the neutral. I mean, if you're a Liverpool fan, you're loving this, aren't you? Arsenal included. Boring, though. It's not very exciting at all. It's nervous. Haaland can get on the end of that. There's a spider on me, like, you know, when like a little hair lands on you, or when a cobweb gets you. You know, when you walk into a cobweb, you're like, fucking hell! Like, it's like, I feel like that just happened to me. Akanji's going to pick up that ball. City pinning Everton back, all in their own half. Jack Harrison being the only man trying to press, and Rodri's just walking past him. Lovely ball into Doku from Rodri. Doku's one-on-one with Godfrey. He's going to go onto his right foot, whips it in, and it's cleared by Branthwaite, but it's gone up in the air to Pickford, who collects it easily. Fleas, Church of the Poisoned Mind. Good to see you, mate. Well, we've got rats. I think it's a single rat, actually. But we've got a rat. I was talking to it last night. Because we got a camera up there. I put a camera up there to figure out what animal it was. And we figured it out, but I just left the camera up there. Everton's got a player down here. But I saw it, I heard it last night. But the camera's got a microphone on it from my phone. So I was in bed at like 1 in the morning, like, fuck off. Like, oi, piss off. To the rat. And the rat shit itself and started like running around really quickly because there was a camera next to it that didn't know it was there. That went, rah, really loud. Oh. Yeah, so we still got a rat. It's fucking insane. We've had multiple rat infestation companies round, all with conflicting opinions. Does my nutting. Godfrey's gone down here and it looks like he might be getting subbed off here. The physio is suggesting that. Pep's pulled Phil Foden over. Hassan is living in my eye. See you, James. Have a good one, mate. Cheers for joining as well. The rat's going to start a new YouTube channel. A Man United one, probably. No, she's not, Clara. She never was staying at a hotel. She was staying at her parents'. It's only around the corner, so she sleeps there, but she's here in the day. But yeah, no, it's doing my head in. There is positives to it, because obviously I get a free house to myself. Well, I've got Harry here as well, but I mean, I miss her more than I enjoy the free houses, and Chloe as well. I miss her more than I enjoy the free houses. It's not like I'm feeding the rat to keep her out. Sending food up on one of those food conveyor belts. There you go, lad, and enjoy your meal. But what are they called? Dumb waiters. You have them in America, don't we? We don't have them here, do we? I think I slept in a hotel once that had one. That's a foul, referee. Idrissa Gueye, get him in the book, man, because he's about to send Alvarez away. And he is booked. Darren Doku is definitely our only threat, real genuine threat in this game so far. Just need to see him get that ball in the box with a bit more of a clinical end product. Your house is so disgusting that the mice and cockroaches have moved out. Won't stop the Scousers moving in though, mate. So be careful. Fan reactions, you've not missed a thing, mate. You've not missed a thing. It's been extraordinarily boring. I had a rant at half-time. That was about it. That's the most excited I got at half-time, talking about financial fair play and things. And blue cards and all this bollocks. But with regards to today's football, very little to talk about. Other than Manchester City have been very underwhelming. Cheers, Renegade. Just saw Kyle read his lips there. Said Pep. It's always interesting to know. Here comes Kevin De Bruyne. Kyle Walker as well. Great news. But yeah, it's interesting to think what the... he's been down... How long has this guy been down off? He's going to get him off the fucking pitch or what? It's been about 10 minutes. Can we decide if he's dead or not off the pitch? Yeah, go and subscribe to Fan Reactions as well. Sections just popped a link in there. The best fan reaction channel out there by some distance. There is a few... there's one copycat out there that's really trying to crib him as well, which is unfortunate. But free kick to City. Alvarez dinks it in. Ake's back post. And he couldn't quite get on the end of that cross there. But it was a good ball from Alvarez. But it was also equally good defending on Nathan Ake there. But here's the man you want taking free kicks. Kevin De Bruyne is walking on. Instructions from Pep Guardiola being fed into the ear hole of Kevin De Bruyne. It's like, go there, right? See that yellow thing, that spherical yellow thing? Get that, put it in that white rectangle shaped thing with a net on the back of it, and then I'll be well pleased with you. That's the standard of instructions from Pep Guardiola. Bollocks, linesman. Haaland's just used his strength there. Little bit aggressive, potentially. I mean, if I'm a defender, I'm wanting the free kick, because Branthwaite trying to... he's gone down way too easy there. Kyle Walker's also coming onto the pitch. Interesting to see what he does here, Pep. It's got to be Nunes, hasn't it? For Kevin De Bruyne. Akanji as well has got to be the other one. And it is Manuel Akanji. And I'd imagine Nunes is the other one for De Bruyne. And it is. So Nunes and Akanji off. Kevin De Bruyne and Kyle Walker on. Bit more of a traditional setup now. And Pep, you're paying the price for not starting your strongest team. You're having to bring them on to win the game. Can see the plan. I know you're thinking about Copenhagen. We didn't win there last season. We played away to Copenhagen and we drew. So it isn't going to be an easy game going away to Copenhagen in the Champions League. But this was a harder game. That was the game I would have played this sort of team. Everton, man. Like, Premier League. I know it's Champions League, but I mean, Copenhagen are not Everton. I really think this was that he's picked the wrong side to rest against, in my opinion, here. And guess what? We're not winning the game. And you've got to bring on the big guns anyway. So, Kevin De Bruyne, first pass right into the feet of Alvarez. Out to Nathan Ake. Still got loads of time, though. We've got at least 35 minutes if you include injury time. Doku lays it off to KDB. Ake back to De Bruyne. Into Rodri. Rodri dinks it back post and Pickford comes to intercept that. Kyle Walker with his late run to that back post. That he's done quite a few of them this season, with Rodri being the man to find him as well. But City have just switched off here all of a sudden. Everton have just got big space, but Kyle Walker and Rodri get back and make Everton turn around and come back the other way, thankfully. But another pocket of space. Idrissa Gueye bursting forward. Ashley Young with a man on the overlap. Here comes Seamus Coleman, who's come onto the pitch. I didn't even notice him make a substitution, but Coleman's onto the pitch. Who's off? It's Godfrey with that injury, isn't it? So Seamus Coleman. Playing right back, and he's a great player, or he at least was. Bit on the old side now, isn't he, for a footballer? Walker looking for options here. Rodri, Diaz, into Ake's right in the middle of the pitch. Doku now on the left side. Taking on Seamus Coleman with Ashley Young trying to help him. Has to go back to Nathan Ake though. Aggressive from Seamus Coleman. Doku fends him off. Alvarez has been fed by Phil Foden. Branthwaite holds the ball up really well. That's fucking sensational defending from Jared Branthwaite, in truth. Alvarez tried to make it difficult for him, but that was brilliant play from Jared Branthwaite. Not only did he not prevent it from going out for a corner, but he found an Everton shirt as well. We're up against it. We're really up against it today. Everton's shape has been pretty much impenetrable today. It's been really difficult. Kyle Walker back to Ruben Diaz. Again, though, I mean, how many chances have we got to talk about? I think we're playing a little bit better. The passing is a little bit crisper. Fucking hell, saying the word crisp is Ruben Diaz. And Doku's tries a bit of skill, and the only person he beats is himself as he falls over. But yeah, Ruben Diaz's pass was fired into him. We've got 11 attempts, none on target. Everton have got 4. 1 on target. Kyle Walker's been fed down the right wing now. He's got Haaland and Foden. Lovely ball from Kyle Walker into Phil Foden's feet. Just about keeps control of it. Alvarez. 1-2 with Alvarez looking to be. Gets it into Alvarez. Alvarez's touch is shite. Come on, Julian. Come on, Julian, mate. Such a sloppy touch that was. He had a little pocket of space, but he overrun. And again, nearly does it again. Haaland's come and collected it. Doku's got the ball now. Into Haaland with a pocket of space. Haaland takes his time, gets the ball across, and Kyle Walker was at the back post, but it was quick thinking by Dwight McNeil, who clears it and prevents it from getting to the feet of Kyle Walker, who would have had a tap in to make it 1-0. That's the best move of the game, in truth, from Manchester City. Lovely ball from Haaland. That's the sort of pass that he wants. He wants to be in the middle, getting on the end of those types of crosses. Corner ball from KDB. Nodded away, but it's coming to Doku. Thinks about first time cross and feints. Gets it onto his right foot. It's a good one, and it's cleared by Calvert-Lewin. And Ashley Young gets it cleared. Idrissa Gueye's going to chase this. Kyle Walker's got to win that, and he doesn't. If Idrissa Gueye can keep hold of this, and never a foul, referee. Absolute bollocks. Kyle Walker's laughing it's that bad. It is a laughable decision. Idrissa Gueye's got up and smirked. He's embarrassed that he's even won that free kick. Oh, give over, referee. Swill, I don't agree with Alvarez always does nothing, but I do think he's not having a great game at all. He's not playing well today at all. I mean, the guy's got 8 goals and 6 assists, so he doesn't always do nothing, but he's not having a good game today at all. Pickford with a free kick, almost on the halfway line. Running out of water here. Sean Dyche has got like some weird little device that he's speaking to the dugout, because obviously, if you don't know, Sean Dyche is not on the touchline today with his suspension. He's looking at it like, what the fuck is this? Give me a landline. He's the sort of bloke that wants a landline with a big cord. Do you know what I mean? That's what he wants. Like, he wants like a big red Batman phone, doesn't he? Stones looking for options, hasn't got any. Kyle Walker's... Oh, Kyle. Heavy touch from Kyle Walker and he gets away with it. This has got 0-0 written all over it so far, but come on, City, we can do something here. We just need to spark into action. Here's the man to do it. Jeremy Doku into the box, and he's tried too much. He's got to get his pass away a bit quicker there, but we've won a corner, but he's tenacious. Do you know what I mean? He's hard-working. He doesn't give up. He'll keep trying and trying and trying. Often he'll beat his player. I just need to see that end product there, man. Just... Kevin De Bruyne. He's gone to Phil Foden, and the ball was obvious. Another poor ball being fed into the Everton box. Easy to defend. I think we're seeing now what I've been saying in my Jack Grealish video, where I spoke about players that Pep's now targeting. De Bruyne's ball whipped in too deep. He's crossing from the angle's not right there. But players getting to the byline. Our best opportunities today have come when we've got to the byline, whipping it across the face of goal. Lovely ball from De Bruyne, but it's well read by Tarkowski. And they're defending really well. Them two in particular, Jared Branthwaite and James Tarkowski. But yeah, with regards to the players that City are targeting, aggressive wingers. We've already got Doku. I think he wants, pretty much got Savio. Michael Elise is someone who loves to get to the byline and cross it in hard and low. Kyle Walker's cross comes in and it's deflected. That's going to be a corner, is it not? No? Because that's a poor cross from Kyle Walker, really poor. That looked like it was deflected, it was that bad, but it wasn't. But that doesn't spell good news for Jack Grealish with regards to the type of wingers that Pep Guardiola is targeting. Jack Grealish is not someone who gets to the byline. And this recycling of a football that we've seen last season that was very effective, teams have cottoned onto it and it's become a little bit too predictable and quite easy to defend. And I think Pep's now going for, unpredictable. And Jeremy Doku is the exact man for unpredictability. How old's Vinicius now? He's 23, Vinicius, so Doku's like a year younger than him. He's 21, sorry, Doku. But yeah, 2 years, big, large amount of time. A lot of football can be taught in that amount of time. And there's Doku's ball, and John Stones luckily makes it a good one. He's won the ball there, Doku, but he's hurt his Stones, but he's beat his man. And Rodri's just ballooned one into Rowe's head. It's just not going to happen, this, at the minute, is it? This isn't... Dwight McNeil's been clattered by John Stones, but he won the ball fairly, but you're just hoping there's no aftermath. There's no studs on the knee or anything like that, but he's won the ball clear as day. No, brilliant. Nothing wrong with that. World-class tackle. And nothing world-class about Rodri's effort. Do you think, Tuna? Think we need to see a little bit more patience? Yeah, Big M, I wouldn't have any objections to that. Jack Grealish, for me, I've never been too comfortable seeing him as a winger. And he's had great games in that position. There's a video that I watched the other day. Jack Grealish, Aston Villa highlights. Go and find one. If you haven't already seen it, go and find one. Because, fuck me, I don't see him doing that in a City shirt. Some of the stuff that he did in a Villa shirt, you forget, don't you? Because it feels like he's been here quite a while. Well, he has been here over 2 years now, 2.5 years, nearly 3. And in that time, you have the vision, don't you? I remember what Jack Grealish did, some of the stuff he did. But it's not just his ball-carrying ability in midfield, his vision for a pass, his shooting, mate. Like, outside the box, some of the finishes, one of the goals that he scored at Old Trafford, where it just whips it into that top corner. Never see that from Jack Grealish. And that's one thing he does actually have opportunities to do, is get onto that corner where he can whip it with his right foot and go for that far corner. He's had opportunities to do that in a City shirt. He just doesn't seem to have his shooting boots. He left them in Birmingham. But yeah, there's also the fact that his personal life isn't exactly, wasn't smooth sailing either with regards to the burglary. Can't even imagine how that must have made him feel, but he seems happy, you know what I mean? He seems all right. Phil Foden bringing the ball forward. Kyle Walker, first time cross, blocked, corner ball. And he's hurt someone as well with his cross. He's twisted his knee. Someone has. Who is it? Garner. James Garner looks like he's in attempting to... Well, not attempted. He did block the cross and he's hurt himself in the process. Yeah, he is good for drawing fouls, but do we want fouls? Is that what we're going for? Someone who gets fouled a lot? I feel like that. I don't know. Alvarez's corner. Near post, and it was... been given a City corner again. Everton aren't too happy about that. I know what you're saying. Winning fouls can win free kicks, and we are very good at set pieces. But, you know, Alvarez's corner, another one. Back post. Oh, Diaz's header's blocked. It's going to land to Erling Haaland. Haaland has scored! He makes it 1-0 out of absolutely nothing. There was no sign of a goal in this game. No sign of a goal. And Erling Haaland has rifled one into the top corner out of nothing with his weaker foot, right foot on the volley, swings, bang! Ricocheting in the box, bobbling around from a corner. Arguably wasn't a corner, mind you, because Everton weren't even... They were kicking off saying it shouldn't even be a corner, but the big man is back. The big man is back. Erling Haaland is on the score sheet, making it 1-0 Manchester City. Boom. Let's go. Oh, mate. Jesus Christ. Oh, I would like to see if that was even a corner. So ball comes in from Alvarez. Diaz wins the big header there, bobbling around in the penalty area. Tarkowski gets on the block, and Ake's sort of involved in the bobbling part of it, and it just kindly lands to Erling Haaland, who just like says, fuck it, swings at it, absolutely bollocks it right into the back of the net. Oh, mate. Jordan Pickford gets a big hand on it, and all he can do is direct it into the roof of the net rather than the middle of the net, and that was a goal out of absolutely nothing, but you take it. That's a massive goal, that is. Massive goal. I wouldn't blame if my viewers all left for 5 minutes and go and have a look at how Mark Goldbridge and sip some of those delicious tears, because you know full well the referee's done something wrong. If Manchester City have scored, there's got to be some cheating involved. But no, stay with me. I can already see the numbers going down, actually. You've actually done it as well. I'm such a bad streamer, aren't I? Like, I tell people to leave rather than like and subscribe. Go and see what he's doing. Leave my stream. Oh, I love it. Jeremy Doku. Now, nothing silly. Nothing silly. Already looking silly. Jack Harrison is beating Rodri. I'm shitting myself now, thinking we can throw this away now and get a 1-1 and Everton. They don't deserve to be it's more like we don't deserve to be 1-0 up. They don't deserve to be getting anything from this game because they haven't even come to... They've come to pray for a draw, but here they come, to fairness to them. Here they come. Kyle Walker's got his job on here, chasing Mikulenko, and he's kept it really well. He's keeping him in that corner flag. Really good. Fantastic defending from Kyle Walker. Phil Foden wins the free kick. Absolutely fantastic defending by Kyle Walker. Brilliant from Kyle Walker. That absolutely brilliant. Because he runs over full pelt and you're thinking, don't foul him, don't foul him. He's already ahead of you, mate. He's already ahead of you. He's getting there. He uses his body. Gets close enough but not too close. Can't get his hands on him so he can manipulate a foul out of it. But he gets close enough to use his body once he tries anything difficult. Wins the ball back. Fantastic defending. Yeah, we're over 300 in the building before. If we could get to 200 likes, that'd be amazing. I'd be buzzing. And subscribe for amazing City content, as Marie says. Thank you, Marie. Much appreciated. Yeah, hit the like for Haaland's goal, mate. Definitely. So good to see him celebrate. He's one of the best celebrators. It's just raw, isn't it? His celebrations are just raw energy. So good. So good. Apart from when he does the meditation one. They're the ones that are like premeditated celebrations. There's always something a little bit cringe about them. You know, when they do like a silly dance. It's funny and I enjoy it. I like to see people having a good time on a football pitch. But... when it's premeditated, when players just go mental, that's my favourite. My favourite celebration of all time, I can't remember the player who it was, the Newcastle lad, the bald lad, who basically took all his clothes off and booted the advertising boarding and broke his toe. Ball whipped in, Kyle Walker on the end of it. That was such a good celebration. He was just like, fucking wow! Just ripped his top off, ripped his shorts off, boots the advertising boarding, breaks his toe, has to get subbed off. Oh, what a goal celebration that is. It was years ago, that as well. Who was it? It was I remember him being bald. That's all I remember. I can't remember the name of the lad. Rodri's. Oh, it's a sloppy ball from Rodri. He's not had his greatest game, and he gets away with it. My take on Arteta's over-celebrations. I do believe that you can... I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it. I think it gives confidence to me. I think it makes me feel good. I don't think there's anything wrong with Arteta's over-celebrations. You know, if you really enjoyed it that much, to me, Haaland's got the ball on the edge of the area. Haaland has a shot and it's blocked. It's landing to KDB. We're looking for a second there, but Everton are going to get it cleared. I think it's good for the Arsenal fans. Ruben Diaz, sloppy ball. Ederson's got to come out and he does. This game's getting really like... tense. Yeah, Arteta is nuts the way he celebrates, but Conte was nuts as well. Antonio Conte, man, it was his face that bugged me more than anything. He went mental with celebrations, didn't he? When, was it Harry Kane who made it 3-2 after Mahrez's penalty made it 2-2 at the Etihad like 2 or 3 seasons ago? I'll never forget that face. And the amount of times he did it in a Chelsea dugout as well. But yeah, no, with regards to celebrating, have at it, mate. Have at it. Go wild. But what that says to me is you're desperate. You've let it ooze out. You've shown that you're so worried and so desperate right now that that's how much that meant to you there and then. Whereas I feel like if City won that game in that manner, we'd have been happy, smiling, and celebrating. But we would have also, gone on with high fives. Like, yeah, next game. Let's go again. Next game. And continually thought we celebrate like that. The one time I've been surprised in our celebrations was, not even surprised, but I think it's the manner in which we won, was against Newcastle this season with Oscar Bobb's 93rd minute. Was it 93rd minute? It was like the 91st, something like that. Winner from that Kevin De Bruyne, lovely ball. That was the wildest I've seen Pep go since Raheem Sterling's winner against Southampton like 5 years ago in like the 96th minute. That was back. I'm pretty sure Virgil van Dijk was playing for Southampton back then, so that's how long ago it was. But that's understandable when it's last minute. Arsenal were 3-1 up with like 10 minutes to go, or 5 minutes to go, so the game was kind of won. And to celebrate like that for the third goal, yeah, I felt like it just looked like shit. The emotion was too high. It's just the emotion. It's not. There's no offence. I'm not offended. Like, don't celebrate like that. I just think that there's too much emotion involved in that celebration, and it spills over into the latter stages of the season where can you control that emotion when things don't go your way? If you're losing a game, are you going to be able to control yourself? Are you sending those players out with so much nerves that they're going to bottle it like they did last season? They were celebrating like this last season, and it was too much emotion riding on the games that, it just felt over the top. And speaking of over the top, Everton have gone over the top and Ederson comes and collects it. Bernardo Silva's come onto the pitch, by the way, for who I'm not too sure, but Doku's giving it away, and Everton have got space here and players forward. 12 minutes to go. Dwight McNeil on the edge of the area, shot is blocked by Rodri. I've got a bad feeling about this. Idrissa Gueye, right wing. Back to Seamus Coleman. City have got a bit of shape together now. We've tightened things up a little bit. Bernardo said, who's he come on for? Alvarez. That's it. Good decision. Great decision. Stones, vital touch from the cross. Oh, Diaz. Terrible ball to Ederson. But he makes it a good one and Haaland brings it down. There's another opportunity there for a referee to play on. Not quite as disruptive as that Jack Grealish one-on-one against Spurs where he blew. I see, that's what we're doing now. They were looking at the decision to see whether it was a corner or not for our goal. And from that angle, I couldn't see anything. Couldn't tell. Yeah, Haaland's celebration, mate. I love it. He just goes wild, doesn't he? So you should, mate. With your ability to score goals like you do, just enjoy every single one, mate. Enjoy every single one. Long ball to Foden and brings it down beautifully. Keep ball now. Play a bit of keep ball. Rodri with a big pocket of space. Goes all the way out to Doku. Trying to stretch Everton now. Hopefully finding some pockets of space. Doku. Tries too much there, Doku. Bernardo Silva. The ball moves quicker than you do, Jeremy. Do you know what I mean? Bernardo Silva offered the ball. He goes down the line for him, Bernardo Silva, and Doku just needs to pass it to him, but instead he just dribbles towards him, and they almost get in each other's way, and Doku runs it out for a goal kick. If he just passes it to him, the ball will always move quicker than any speed you can achieve, Jeremy. So just pass it, mate, there. That's what I'm talking about. Doku's been really lively, but he's just got to get that decision making and his ability to get some decent end product into the box as well. Everton bringing it forward. Calvert-Lewin, or is it Calvert-Lewin? Is it Beto's come onside and he's put it wide of the post. He had to be offside and the flag goes up. Beto's come on the pitch, by the way. There's some substitutions I've missed, by the way. I'm presuming that's for Calvert-Lewin. Beto is on. I can't see Calvert-Lewin, but he was about Yeah, he's just about 3 miles offside. Maybe 2.5. But lets him go through on goal, as you do. And he puts it wide anyway. Anana's on the pitch as well. And who else is on the pitch? Beto, that same guy, I've just seen him. Can't deal with this. Really nervous. Because Liverpool have got a banker later, haven't they? Burnley. The Burnley look terrible, man. Like, I feel for Vincent Kompany so much. Like, how well they did in the Championship as well. I was really expecting them to, like, you know, cause upsets for big teams this season, play good football, get 14th in the league, 13th in the league, maybe even look at mid-table. But they've been pretty poor, haven't they, Burnley? Going away to Anfield, I cannot see Burnley having a sniff in that game. I hope I'm wrong. And of course, Arsenal play West Ham tomorrow, which isn't an easy game. Away to West Ham. Mad club, West Ham. They can do anything on their day. Haaland's just looked disgusted at the linesman then, giving a throw in. I love that goal from Erling Haaland. Absolutely love it. It's what you need. That's the guy, man. That's the guy that wins you titles. Games like this, you don't have a fox in the box. You don't have that goal scorer. You're clever football in midfield, and as often as it pays off for Manchester City, it's just not working today. The intricate football, passages of play, triangles just not working. Defensive setup's been really good from Everton. The ball just drops kindly to Haaland in the box, and he just smashes it into the back of the fucking net like he would do any other game. And that's the thing. Arsenal don't have that. Liverpool, they have it in Mo Salah. But, I mean, there's no one in the world like Haaland at doing what he just did then. Just instinctual finishes like that. Just a millisecond to think about it. And bang! Back of the net. Cross is blocked by the ear of Kyle Walker. Took one to the dome. There, crossing it, coming in from McNeil. But it's an Everton throw-in. Everton are looking to nick something out of this game. They're not done here, Everton. They are not finished. Passing it about as well. City looking to try and soak up a bit of pressure, I think, here. Bernardo Silva's playing in defensive midfield. We've gone to a flat back four. As to be expected when we don't have the ball. It is worrying that we're not managing the game as well as I think we could have done. There's no reason for us not to be keeping the ball, because we were keeping the ball reasonably well before we scored. Just go back to that, keep the ball. See the game out. But it's all Everton so far. It's been about a minute now and I haven't seen City string a pass together. Here come Everton down the right wing. Seamus Coleman on the overlap. Nathan Ake slips, but he gets up just in time. But Nathan Ake steps in eventually and gets it away. And Kevin De Bruyne feeds a lovely ball to Erling Haaland, who's one-on-one with Jared Branthwaite. He pushes him aside. Erling Haaland's one-on-one, and Erling Haaland makes it 2-0 to Manchester City. And top of the league we go. We are top the league. Say we are top the league. We are top the league. Say we are top the league. Get in there. Lovely ball from Kevin De Bruyne. Lovely ball from Kevin De Bruyne. Soaking up a bit of that Everton pressure. We break on them and it lands to Kevin De Bruyne, who just feeds Erling Haaland. Jared Branthwaite, who's been at the gym all week trying to deal with the fantasy of manhandling Erling Haaland. But the week wasn't enough, mate. You don't bench enough going up against Erling Haaland. And Erling Haaland just flicks him and Branthwaite falls over and Haaland just puts it into the bottom corner. Beautiful goal for Manchester City. 2-0. Surely that's game done and dusted. And we go top of the league, barring any stupidity or daft mistakes. Look at that from Erling Haaland. Power and pace and just an almost inevitability that once he'd put him on the floor. Look at his movement here. Look at what Haaland does. Look how he positions. Oh, he actually doesn't let it run across his body, but he cuts it back onto his left foot and he opens his body up really well. Such a good The way he positions himself, that it's just, you can't save it. The goal's too big. There's no goalkeeper in the world that would save that. And the way he just positions himself to just guide it is similar to his his second goal for Manchester City at West Ham, where Kevin De Bruyne fed him through. And what are we doing here? We're looking at Jared Branthwaite sticking his arms in the air like he should have a foul. Mate, you were soft. Erling Haaland just bodied you, mate. Jack Grealish onto the pitch for Jeremy Doku. Get your hands out, Jack. It winds me up when my lad does that. It annoys me. It's like, either put gloves on or don't. Don't do that. Players that run round like that, that's what a 6-year-old does. My lad runs round like that with his hands hidden. Like, that's what gloves are for, mate. If you earn enough, I'm sure you can afford a pair of gloves. Here he is. Come on, Jackie boy. Jack, lovely ball into Haaland, 1-2, gets it back, Jack Grealish coming across the pitch and he's been dispossessed, but Rodri picks it up. It's a big tackle, that, as well. Yeah, there will be, Ryan. You've fucking done me there, mate. I completely forgot about that. There is going to be a monstrous amount of added time, isn't there? There really is. Come on, City. This is massive. I always fantasize about Erling Haaland. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm very comfortable in admitting that I frequently fantasize about Erling Haaland. Not in the way you're probably thinking, or the way that it sounds, but I do think about him a lot. He's often in my brain. He's just a specimen, isn't he? He's such a fascinating human being. Seems like a top bloke as well. Just an inspiration. He enjoys life. Just loves every minute of it, doesn't he? And why wouldn't you, mate? You're the best goal scorer in the world. He's always laughing and joking. And even when things don't go his way, the way he handles, adversity or any sort of confrontation, he's a class act. Do you know what I mean? He handles it with aplomb and class. A lot of these laughers and jokers, they have an edge to them, like a nastiness to them as well, don't they? But he's just an all-round top bloke. Everton bringing it away. Kyle Walker's had to chase him and he's turned him round there. Gone back to Mykolenko. So many substitutions have happened in this game as well. Everton seem to have a whole brand new starting 11 on the pitch. There's loads of new players on that I must have missed. Is that all we've had? 2 shots on goal? Seamus Coleman approaching the 90-minute mark. Kyle Walker heads that long ball attempted across the field and it's going to go out for an Everton throw. Last 32 games at the Etihad, Manchester City have won 28 of them, drawn 4 of them, and of course lost 0 of them. Mate, lives rent-free. Absolutely. I'm more than happy with him living rent-free in my head. I welcomed him. I roll out the red carpet for Erling Haaland to live in my head rent-free. Jack's giving it away. Jack Grealish, what have you done, mate? Beto's in. Is he offside? And he scored. Is the offside, though? The offside flag goes up. Welcome to the Premier League again, Jack Grealish, because you need to fucking sharpen up, mate. You just gave the ball away in the middle of the pitch and Everton get a chance. Sloppy from Jack Grealish. That's twice now. He's already been dispossessed by a slide tackle. Yeah, he's about 4 yards offside, thankfully. Got away with that one. Got away with that one. You had a warning already, Jack, on the halfway line. He got tackled. He got tackled easily. And it went to Rodri, no problem. This time he's much deeper and closer to the to our back line. Gives it away. Luckily, the ball through to Beto and he was miles offside, but he put it in the bottom corner. Fuck's sake, Jack. And whinging at the referee like that's a foul. fucking winds me up, mate. Not him, just the team. When we make mistakes like this, him right now. Come on, Jack. We're going to need him for the second half of this season. We're going to need him. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts against Copenhagen, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. Because he's rotated that many players for this game. I tell you what, if he doesn't start him against Copenhagen, Jack's future's looking pretty bleak in terms of being at Manchester City, at least. It's a really tough decision because, I mean, we all look at it from Manchester City's perspective, but he will want to play more football. Don't forget that. He won't want to be on the bench. He's going to want to look elsewhere. 10 minutes of injury time. Sorry, I should have said that sooner. Cortez has just woke up. You woke up to a wonderful scoreline, mate. The City team just woke up as well, to be honest, on about the 75th minute or whenever Erling Haaland scored. Because before that, mate, they were asleep with you, mate. They were probably in bed with you, some of them. Because it's been really lacklustre until Erling Haaland just smashed one into the back of the net. Jeff, by the way, said Haaland brace. So he got half of it right. He did say Doku would get the other two. But well played, Jeff, for saying Erling Haaland to get two. Spot on with that. 50% correct, Amundo. Jack Grealish down the line to Bernardo Silva. See, that's the difference between Doku and Jack Grealish. That ball is the exact right pass to make. And Doku didn't make it before. Bernardo Silva offered himself down that wing for Doku. Doku, instead of passing it, tried to dribble it towards him instead. This time, Jack Grealish, exact same scenario. He passes it, which is the exact right thing to do. And it's frustrating. If you could combine the two, what a player that would be. Jack Grealish and Doku combined, because Jack's got the composure, he's got the technicality, and his ball retention in needed moments like that, and his decision making is usually better than Doku's as well. But there's no way Jack Grealish is ever going to be expected to beat his fullback like Doku can, and get to the byline like Doku can. Here he is, Jack Grealish, looking for options. It's perfect. It's what we need. Jack's keeping the ball. We're 2-0 up. We don't want Doku on the pitch running at fullbacks, potentially giving it away if it doesn't come off. It's too much of a risk right now. Jack Grealish is the perfect player, but coming onto the pitch and pissing about with it in the middle of the park like he was a couple of minutes ago, it's not what we need. Yeah, that's right. Hot sits as well. The confidence that's going to give Haaland, because if he comes away from this game without a goal, I'm not sure headlines would start to be written about his confidence and his ability, like, to score in this team and the way we're playing right now. But let's put that to bed. 2 goals. He's going to be buzzing after this game, Erling Haaland. That second goal was fantastic. Really good goal. Once he'd flattened Jared Branthwaite, you just knew it was going in the back of the net. Players who've had the most shots. Haaland with 4 attempts on goal. Diaz was second with 3, sorry. Foden slide tackle, wins the ball. Kevin De Bruyne has been fed by Foden's great hard work. Jack Grealish has been found by Kevin De Bruyne into the box. Jack Grealish, edge of the foot. Oh, Foden's shot was saved by Pickford, but nice little layoff by Jack Grealish. We're approaching 5 minutes, halfway into the injury time. Did I say bran flakes? Branthwaite. Bran flakes. The most boring cereal in the world, isn't it? Can't even speak. My voice has just gone to shit. Cereal. That's the word, isn't it? Yeah. I love cereal. Do you know, I never eat cereal in the morning, though. I always eat cereal before bed. It's mad, that, isn't it? So I always have like a bowl of cereal. Religiously have a bowl of cereal every night. Every night I have a bowl of cereal. Don't know why. In the mornings I just don't fancy it. Everton, knocked it forward. John Stones gets it out for a throw-in, but that wasn't meant to go that way. He sliced it, but still. Eric Welch coming in. Lucky team right here. Eric's a good guy for anyone who doesn't know who Eric is. He's only jesting there. Of all the Arsenal fans I know, he's one of the good ones. Yeah, I'm a serial killer, mate. I like it. But fucking bran flakes, boring as shit. Even with sugar. It's just like eating bark. Like, oh, I love a little bowl of wood. Jack Grealish bringing it forward. And there you go. That's what he's in the team for. Everyone loves it. Wins a foul. Can't be asked cooking. Yeah, cereal does fill that void. No, but I don't have it at tea time. I have cereal like right before bed. To the point where it like sits on your stomach a little bit. Sometimes it's too close to bedtime. But yeah, I love cereal. And Americans in the chat, by the way, your Lucky Charms, so bad. They're awful, man. I'm sure you have other nice cereals. Reese's, those little Reese's Puffs, whatever they're called, they're delicious. Peanut butter flavour cereals, brilliant. But the Lucky Charms are awful. Time is burning away here. In the favour of Manchester City, a long ball from Rodri has made Foden go and chase it, but he's kept the ball. He's got no options. He's on his own against Mykolenko. Does really well, holds the ball up there. I think this game's done. We've done really well here in this injury time. There's been no threat from Everton since the injury board went up. Brilliant. A little spell at 1-0 where we had to withstand a bit of pressure, in truth. About 5 minutes of Everton knocking it about and City didn't even have the ball. And all of a sudden, that's what happens when you leave gaps at the back. We've been susceptible to gaps at the back. Every time we lose the ball this season, it seems the opposition seems to score with their first shot on target. There's a stat for you I gave in the preview as well. That opposition have scored 12 times against Manchester City this season from their very first shot on target, which is incredible. And that just shows how open we play, and it's such a high risk, high reward style of football that we play. Everton had to come out, if they want anything from this game, they had to come out of their shape, leave gaps at the back, and those gaps were instantly exposed by Kevin De Bruyne. Haaland's still on the pitch, you know. I thought Foden was about to feed him there, and big sliding tackle from Kevin De Bruyne. That's our ball. He's claiming for it. Should be a City ball, that. Haaland's laughing at the linesman for the third time. See you, Jeff. Have a good one, mate. Lovely finish from Haaland, that is. Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Liverpool after this. Go and see my lad. And I've got match reaction to do. I will be doing a match reaction after this video. So come and join me for that. Not that much to talk about really, is there? Well, there is, but not too much positive things to say. It's like I'm trying to... Obviously, Erling Haaland, brilliant. But the fact that we've won the game, of course, brilliant. But up until the 70th minute mark, it was a worrying sight. It's the standards we've set, though, as a football club. It's the standards that we've set that we almost want to see ridiculous high level of football. Whereas, you know, if Liverpool played like this or Arsenal played like this and won the game, there wouldn't be any things like, oh, but they struggled at the beginning. They weren't very good for 70 minutes. They'd talk about it from a different angle. They'd say, that's what champions do. That's what champions do. Well, this is what champions do, in truth. Especially when you've got Erling Haaland on the pitch, who's just a goal machine. And yep, Quartez clean sheet, absolute positive right there. But I mean, Everton have offered absolutely nothing. Long ball over the top for Kevin De Bruyne. Can we make it 3? Get my prediction right, please. No, Kevin De Bruyne has dinked it over Pickford's head, and it lands onto the roof of the net. Kevin De Bruyne very nearly makes it 3-0. Should have done, in truth. Should have done. And he would have been onside, and that would have been 3-0 and helpful for the goal difference as well, don't forget. And I'm surprised he's not fed Erling Haaland there, you know. I'm surprised he's not fed Erling Haaland, but it doesn't matter. Full time goes. That is the game done and dusted. Top of the Premier League we go. Massive, massive result. Another statement has been made by Manchester City. Not the most convincing first 70-odd minutes or so, but a convincing result. A convincing result considering the level of performance wasn't at its best, but still, you take what you can get in this league, in this stage of the season. And with a man like Erling Haaland firing in goals for you like that, you're going to feel confident, aren't you? 10 wins in a row. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Come and join me for the match reaction after this game. Thank you so much for joining me. If you could pop a like on the stream, so close to 200 likes. If you could get to 200 likes, that'd be amazing. Really appreciate you being here for the watch along. It's been amazing. Not the most exciting game, but still really good chatting to you guys as always. Brilliant. See me in the match reaction if you can. If not, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.